Good morning, peace and love, family, peace and love. Good morning. Today is amazing. It is May 1st, guys. Oh my goodness, May 1st. It is a Wednesday, 9:19 in the morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your day is going good. Your week has been outstanding. If y'all hear me sniff or cough, I cannot get rid of whatever this little bug. It leaves, it comes back. I don't know. Um, Probably got to do with a lot of the pollen. If you're in Georgia, ever been to Georgia, you know the pollen here is crazy. I mean, you get up in the mornings, you go out, it's pollen all over your cars, all over your patio furniture. It's just everywhere. Everything is covered. So it could be that. So forgive me if you hear me cough. Forgive me if you hear me sniffle. Couple of things. I am going to go straight into the videos because I ran across these a while back, and I said, "Well, I'm going to show these cities. I'm going to show a brief of the Elora Caves, and then I'm going to show future cities. So I'm going to show old ancient cities, and then I want to show you guys what they have built and what they are building now that you may not know about. So much is happening in our world right now. And on average, we go to work, we pay our bills, take care of our families. We come home in the evening, we may watch a little news and a little TV. So we really don't really pay attention to the really dramatic things that's happening in the world. So that is one of my goals, is to get out there, just some things, give you an insight on some things that's happening all over the world that you may not know. And then, you can go back and really research them to realize that our world is vast and there's so much going on right now. I just don't know what to think. We have, on one hand, we have all these wars and weather is crazy, flooding in Dubai, flooding in China, flooding in Bangladesh, flooding is going through right now with the floods. And then we have the war. They just noted that it was over tens of thousands of people killed in Gaza. So much. So we'll get into a bit more of that in another show. Also on Friday, I've got a series show, guys, of sexual abuse against women and children happening in Africa that I really want to show. So that will be on Friday, probably around 7. Friday at 7, I will do that show. So look out for that. I'm going to post it up because that's going to be a serious show because there's so much abuse and stuff going on. I just want to make y'all a little aware of it. But anyways, I'm going to go into showing pieces of the Elora Caves. And then I'm going to show you these amazing, not talking a lot. When I pull it up, because I just want to show you guys what's really going on. What's really going on in this world. I'll do it right. I left the O out. Let me see. I'm going to find a short one for the Elora. Yeah, this is 8 minutes long. So I'm going to pull up the Elora Cave. And then after that, guys, I'm going to go into these cities that are being built now that may just blow your mind. Let me put up my banner. Put our copyright up. Our fair use copyright is up. We're using this, of course, for educational and reporting purposes. So I'm going to leave that up while I go ahead and share. Please, guys, if you have not subscribe, please subscribe. Please share, and please like this video. I'm really trying to grow this page so we can get into really more discussions and debates on things that are happening around the world. So let me go here. I'm going to show y'all this brief. This one is 8 minutes, so right here. Let's go right here. Okay, this is brief. I'm going to show you about 5 minutes of this. This piece, Laura Caves, is by the Amazing Places on Our Planet. Shout out to Amazing Places. If you like this kind of thing, guys, please go subscribe over there. He shows a lot of different places around the world. So shout out to Amazing Places on Our Planet. Please subscribe to that channel, guys. And go ahead and share. Isn't it amazing how they cut that directly out of the rock? Now I have a previous video, guys, of this right here, so you can go back and look. But if you go to the Amazing Places, they have more videos. So this is the Laura Caves over, and it's not just they just a piece of the caves, but it's actually a whole city, guys. Once you do the research on the Laura Caves and Petra, it's a whole city. They're cities. They're not just caves. So go and take a look at that. And these were carved, guys, right out of the mountain. And they don't even know today where all of the rock that was removed from there went to. And of course, they don't really know who did this amazing work. And amazing, guys. The steps, everything is carved straight into the mountain. An entire city. Can you imagine how beautiful this was when it was first done? If it's this amazing now, thousands of years later, can you imagine? Now, I know you used to take tours over here, guys, and see these caves, but if I'm not mistaken, they've shut these caves down for tourism because it was doing a lot of wear and tear on caves. They were discussing trying to do some kind of replica of these caves for people to tour. Some amazing work. So I'm not sure, but the more you can probably find out if you're interested in ever going over there and visiting these sites. Isn't that amazing? These caves, they had temples, they had, of course, apartments, they had places for commerce, shops. It was an entire city, guys. So this was an entire city, guys. I just thought it was amazing, and I thought it was important for those who may not have ever seen this to see this. These are the Ellora Caves. Look up Petra Caves, and there's some temples that I want to see. And I'm going to tell you something. I think it's India that has the most temples, ancient temples, and they are, I mean, out of this world, amazing. And then you have in Tibet, they have a lot of temples. Peru has a lot of artifacts as well. So throughout the morning, that's one thing I'll be doing in the morning, just kind of showing y'all some history and things that's happening. So now we're going to go from ancient civilizations, ancient cities, the amazing, amazing work and buildings that were built back then to the amazing work that's being built now. Now, what I'm about to show you is cities that some of the buildings are already existing, and then the cities that they are in process of building right now. Guys, there's so much going on, and we need to just stay educated, and we need to stay awake. We need to stay aware of what's really going on in our world. Because I'm going to tell you guys, okay, we couldn't afford to live there if we wanted to. So, and I'll say this, for the elite and wealth, the elite and wealthy lifestyle is nothing like ours. Okay. If you've ever known someone who's wealthy, when I'm talking about somebody who's got a little money, a little rich, what we call rich, I'm talking about someone wealthy. If you've ever known anybody wealthy, their whole lifestyle is different than ours. The cars that they drive are different than ours. The TVs that they watch at home are different than ours. The food that they eat is different. It's better. the lotion they use, the products they use. You can tell the difference when you experience that world and you come back to regular life. It's like, wow, you know, I didn't know, that fruit really could taste this good, because we get, we get the leftover, the cheap stuff, but they get prime. So that lifestyle is different. So I say that to say that these cities are not built for us. Okay. And so I'm going to give you a peek into those cities. And not only that, we're going to take a little journey. So let me stop this one. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and then I'm going to go to the next video. This next video I want to show y'all. This is, I found this building absolutely amazing. Let me go to my history. That they have built in China. So, which one is the shortest? This building they built in China. Let's see which one I want to show. Oh, here we go. This is 12 minutes. I'm probably not even going to show you guys the whole 12 minutes. So let me start right here. Okay. Yeah, this building here is in China. And I thought this building was just amazing. And so this building is already existing in China. It's called the Sky Garden. All right. This is called the Sky Garden in China. It has 1,000 trees. It's a work of art is what it is. So it's the building in the far back that you see. Inside the building, it has, of course, shops, restaurants, apartments. So it's a little ego city within itself. And it is in, they said, the art district of China. That's the building in the back, kind of going up like a mountain or a pyramid. Look at that. I find that to just be amazing. Our copyright is up. Shout out to Middle Kingdom Productions. Go over and subscribe to Middle Kingdom Productions. Shout out to them for this amazing footage on this building. I want to show y'all. I'm going to zoom in for a minute. Take you to the next amazing site. Look at that building. That whole thing is the building, guys. So it's a self-sufficient building, ego-friendly. Of course, it's ran by, solar panels and all kind of eco-friendly things. like the fact that they incorporated the trees and the landscape into the building. I think that's just amazing. So many times you see skyscrapers and it just becomes a cement arc instead of greenery. So for them to be thoughtful enough to incorporate the trees into the buildings, I thought was just awesome. So it has a system that automatically goes in and feeds the plants and waters and uh, the plants and all of that. It's just amazing building. So when you get time, go and look this up. This is called the Sky Garden in China. I thought it was an amazing building. And guys, I show these things because we get so caught up in our everyday today, and we look at we think, wow, But when you really look at the future and what our children will be living in, our grandchildren, and what is going on, it is really amazing the steps that we've taken over the few years, the growth that we have taken as far as uh, industry and structure. Uh, One reason I showed the underground old cities too, I'm gonna bring y'all up to. We have underground cities that are being built now that are built, underground malls that are amazing. Of course, the tunnels and the trains. So our children will see a city that we will not have. Greetings, lovely lady. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting me. Um, the cities that we see, these are not the cities that our children are going to see. They're going to be way above what we were raised in. So this one that I just showed you guys is Sky Garden in China. When you get a chance, take a look at it. Shout out again to the um, the channel that did this amazing footage, which is Middle Kingdom Productions. Get a chance, go over there and take a look at Middle Kingdom Productions. What I want to do now is, guys, I'm going to pull up the city that I'll do that one. I was going to show you guys. They have this amazing, I guess I can show that, amazing library in China. It doesn't look anything like our libraries, to show you that everything is so futuristic and advanced. And I think a lot of time we just don't realize how fast the world is moving. And if we don't hurry up and catch a board left behind, if we don't make sure that our children are educated properly, and if we don't get their head these little games and systems and this foolishness, they're going to be left behind, because the world is moving very fast, very quickly. Technology is growing by leaps and bounds. There's no way with my mental capacity right now that I could even keeping up with the latest in the computer systems and all of the things that the new systems and the AIs. So we have to make sure that our children are educated and keep up. I'm just going to show you a glance of this library. I'm not going to show you a lot of it. Just want to show you a little bit of this library in China, because I want to show y'all the new city that they're building in Saudi Arabia. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share this, and I'm going to play just a little bit of this. Go grab me some coffee, guys. I'm drinking decaf. I can't drink caffeinated coffee no more. It tears my. What is going on with that? But I can't drink caffeinated coffee anymore. So I do a little decaf, and then in the daytime I drink some tea with some turmeric, and that's it. My whole little. As I get older, my head is changing. Okay, shout out to CN Walking. This is the channel that brought this amazing piece. So if you get a chance, go subscribe to CN Walking. Now this right here, guys, is the library. This is the China library. Can you imagine? Because you got to remember, China has not been invaded where all their history and stuff was taken over and torn apart. So can you imagine the history that is housed in this library? Can you imagine? I just, it would blow my mind. I would probably just spend weeks just visiting that library if I was in China, just sucking up all of the probably have housed in this library. But this is the library, guys. It's amazing. You ever seen anything like it? So there's underground shops and stuff. Now everything, guys, you're gonna find it in our future city. They're building stuff underground. So this library goes underneath. Take y'all here. Can you imagine that's a library? So that is a library in China, guys. And it is state of the art. Totally state of the art. Now, we don't have a library in Atlanta close. Our libraries are all old looking, but anyways, I think they said that the new Obama library is really state of the art. I haven't visited, but I'm really thinking about this summer going and taking a visit. I would like to see that. So that's the library in China, just to show you guys how far in advance our world has gotten it, and it's moving fast. We have to try to stay up on this stuff, because while we're here scruffling and fussing over little bitty things, the world is going on about its business. It ain't thinking about us now, our little foolishness we do. The world is moving, and it's moving at a fast pace. This next city, guys, and I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna let this play for a minute. Let's not do it. I'm gonna let this one play. And y'all tell me what y'all think of this one. Okay. Tell me what y'all think about this city. This is in Saudi Arabia. This is the new city that is being built as we speak. And I'm gonna tell you, I got some questions about this city, so y'all can tell me what y'all think about it once you see it.
Within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature. Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers.
Look at that.
And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods.
Wow.
And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions.
Y'all see this?
By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall, 200 meters wide, 170 kilometers long, and housed within an elegant mirror glass facade. Intelligent solutions create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation. Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable. The line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views and immediate access to the surrounding nature. with 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours, at the heart of the globe's key trade routes, a place for commerce and communities to thrive like nothing on earth seen before. The Line, the city that delivers new wonders for the world. 70 kilometers.
I'll show you.
Energy and water supplies are 100%.
All right, guys, so look at this. Now, if you go and research this, it's called The Line. It's in Saudi Arabia. They're building it now. There are plenty of videos showing them building this city. My question is, why are they building this city? Why? This city is, when you study it, it's really self-contained. They have one way in and one way out for regular civilians. You can't just go in and out of the city by different exits. It's one way in on one end and one way in and out on the other end for regular civilians. Now, of course, I'm sure the people who run the city have different places, but just for regular, you once they shut the doors, you're in, okay? And once they shut the doors, you can't get in. So it's very this city is a compound, pretty much, really is. It's going to hold over 1 million citizens. 1 million. Think about that. But what puzzles me is, why is it mirrored on the outside? That puzzles me because I'm wondering, what are you trying to reflect? You're literally becoming a chameleon in the desert. So I don't know. This city has all kind of questions. And one thing I've learned about people, people always have an agenda. They just don't do things out of, intelligent people that run the world always have an agenda. They're always 10 years ahead of the average people because they know what's coming. So this city right here has me questioning why. But anyways, y'all need to go take a look at this city. There's plenty of videos on this mirrored city. It's called The Line. It's in Saudi Arabia. They are building this city now. And 9 million of their residents will be in this city. And like I said, there's one way in, one way out. You will not have transportation. That means 9 million people will not have their own transportation. Okay, they will not have cars. There's no places for cars or any of that. I think it's a boat. They have boat docks, if I'm not mistaken, that will be bringing people in and out of the city. So think about that. Once you're in the city, you're in, and it's you'd have to have a passport to get in or to get out. So, be mindful. So anyways, like I say, guys, so we've got all the great architect from the ancient world, but look at all the great architect that we have in our future world. It doesn't match up as far as structure because those structures have been here for thousands of years. But these new futuristic cities have things that just amazing. When they said that everybody will be autonomous, that's basically saying that you'll be able to do everything from your house, literally. Okay, so like right now we call Walmart and they deliver groceries to us. You can have CVS to deliver your pharmacy to you. So literally everything, your doctor's appointments, all kind of stuff, just straight from your home. And more than likely, most of the people will work from home within this city. Where they're going, Saudi Arabia is building this. They're building another one called the Cube. China has a whole city they built that is abandoned. And I might show that at some point, but they have a city that they're doing self-contained cities as well. So you have to think about that. All these people that's building these self-contained cities and these walls around these cities, what are they preparing for? I'm just saying. So We have a couple of cities like that coming up. And then we have the Mars Project. I don't know how many people, I know a lot of times when you talk about Mars and outer space, people kind of say, oh Lord, aliens, and they ignore it. But the fact is that they are building a civilization on Mars. They're spending billions of dollars. They have spent billions of dollars in space for years. For most of us to think that there's nothing out there is crazy. They're not spending billions of dollars in space and it's nothing there. I'm just going to say that to you. I've said before, you know, we haven't explored more than 5% of the oceans in the world. Now you think about that. On this earth, we haven't explored more than oceans. So if we haven't explored more than 5% of the oceans, and we put millions into exploring it, but we're putting billions into exploring space. So obviously they see some value in that space more than they do their own earth, more than our own oceans. So there's something there. There's something. What? I don't know. But there has to be a reason why they're spending so much in space. So we do know that they have been working on the Mars project. They had been working on the Mars project way before Elon Musk even said anything that he was going to build a civilization on Mars. I guess they want to get away from all of us normal people. I don't know. So I want to show you guys this Mars, a little piece from this Mars. Just see what you guys think about the Mirrored City and this Mars product. So shout out to Venture City. Venture City is the one that did this piece on the Mars product. So shout out to them. If you like this kind of thing, go over to Venture City and subscribe. Lovely lady, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope your week is going well. I'm still kind of, for whatever reason, dealing with this little bug. So y'all see, I'm still like, So I'm still out of it. I can't, for some reason, I can't shake whatever this thing is. It's got me. And it's probably some of the pollen too. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I can't shake this thing. So what I'm about to show you guys is the Mars, the city that they are building. And I find this really interesting. In a couple of years, the Mars project, I went and looked up because I was curious. So I went on the website and the Elon Musk had up, and they were actually able to go to Mars to work on Mars. And some of the requirements were, one, you couldn't have a lot of family ties. You couldn't have children. They preferred someone who had some military background, college background. Was you could not be married, could not have children, and then the family ties. So, and that's probably because it's so iffy. I mean, you think about it. If you are going to space, so many variables of things that could happen where you're not going to make it. Okay. So for liability purposes, where they didn't have to pay millions of dollars because you passed away. Then whatever is going, if you don't have family ties, you can't necessarily, your family, it's not, at Channel 4 News talking about, okay, where's my loved one? So, but they were really recruiting people a few years back to go to Mars. Because I looked at the whole application process. And I can't remember what, I did download it. I think it was on my other computer though. So I'm going to play this, and I want y'all to just take a look at this, what they're doing on Mars.
Stations have been built at the top and bottom of the crater, with cable car
city.
Materials and machinery in and out of the crater and lift the dirt out. This cable car system will later be replaced with a maglev incline in and out of the city. This phase of the city
And the
project,
city is
the excavation
underground,
and
of course,
foundation
that they're
work
making
takes
in
3
Mars.
years, with continuous round-the-clock operations by the autonomous machines. Regolith robots convert Martian soil and a plant-based binder into the ExoPave Martian concrete. A nozzle and injection system print layers of this concrete, building up the... It is also used on the sloping sides of the crater. Metal beams, piles, and rods are driven deep into the crater and stabilize the structure, preventing collapses and landslides, especially during Marsquakes. Looking down into the crater, leveling lasers cover the surface. Small, agile drones maneuver around the construction site, inspecting the integrity of the foundation structure and weaving in reinforcement materials, forming the shell of the sea. Part of the foundations include pads for roof columns. The foundation phase is coming to an end, but the digging robots do not stop. They start digging into the sides of the crater, going off on their own journeys. They are forming tunnels, connecting the crater city to the rocket landing pads, lava tubes, ice mines, and even other craters, creating an even larger underground civilization network. This crater was chosen for the city because it is close to rich resources. It is near large subsurface ice water and mineral deposits. It is just like how settlers on Earth built their Earths. When the crater was chosen, Digger scout drones bore narrow holes deep down into the crater. They traveled down these holes, looking for bacteria. Moving into an existing crater is much easier than digging space for an entire city from scratch. The lack of active plate tectonics on Mars means that surface features such as craters are not as readily erased over geological timescales as they are on Earth. The crater is a small one, about 2,985 feet, 910 meters in diameter, creating an area within the walls of about 0.25 square miles, 0.64 square kilometers, and 156 feet, 200 meters deep. Martian soil has a high thermal inertia, meaning it can absorb heat during the day and release it slowly. The temperature is more stable. Unlike on the surface, where there are extreme temperature variations, from 20 Celsius and 68 Fahrenheit during the day to negative 125 and negative 195 at night. Habitats on the surface need substantial energy for heating during the face-freezing sub-zero nights. The foundation phase has finished, but out near the edge of the crater, a small section is still being excavated. The robots than the rest of the city. This is for a different set of facilities that will be hidden away from the inhabitants. The next stage is building the city's structural framework. The pit is filled with swarms of welding robots, throwing up sparks around the crater. This next phase takes 6 years. The city is being built 8 stories high, with multi-story open areas, courtyards, and even a small biodome with a small lake. It will house 52,000 humans and over 120,000 robot workers. The Mars colony is a high-level robot integration civilization. 1 robot-to-human ratio. The robots play a central role in construction, mining, maintenance, healthcare, and domestic chores.
Wow.
And they only need less than 10 square feet, 1 square meter, for storage space, while humans need 2,152 square feet, 200 square meters. Humans need a lot to survive. This is why the city is being built underground, because on the surface there is killer radiation, toxic dust storms, and the meteor. Mars lacks a protective magnetic field and has a thin atmosphere, offering minimal protection against cosmic rays and solar radiation. Solar radiation of the central nervous system, reduced motor function, change.
And tell me, why would you want to build a city in a place like this? Why are you so eager to leave Earth to build a city in a place that obviously was not made for you to live on? You are not from Mars. Your body is not equipped for Mars. So you're going to defy nature and build a city in a place that is deadly to you. Think about that for a minute. That's crazy to me.
Changes in behavior, damaged eyesight and blindness, damage to heart and blood vessels, fertility issues, harmful development of a fetus, skin damage, and accelerated aging. Underground habitats provide shielding from this radiation. On the surface, where the colony is now living, habitats have extra thick shells, 3D printed using the Martian soil. Other ways of shielding from radiation include building habitats with water tanks and water walls that surround the living areas. But even the dirt is toxic for humans and needs to be cleaned with water in a bioreactor to remove the harmful perchlorates. And the gravity also hurts the fragile humans. The lower gravity means that humans used to suffer from bone density loss, which is now being cured through bioengineering. And controlled
DNA,
the atmosphere
fertility. I mean, think about this, guys. This is a dangerous place that you're trying to send millions of humans to live. You have to ask yourself, why? What is something going to happen to the Earth that we are desperate to find another place? And since Mars is the closest that we can get to, we just said, okay, we're going to settle on Mars. I mean, what's really going on?
Breathable. A big challenge in this stage of construction is building the roof over the crater. The huge crater opening needs to be closed to provide more protection from the radiation. But a small opening is left in the center of the roof, covered with a composite glass to filter out the radiation and to bring natural light down, spreading out across the different levels. The roof also protects the city from meteorites, which is the reason why there are so many more craters on Mars. The glass opening in the roof will have a deployable, retractable shield to completely enclose the city during the months-long dust storms and during major solar flares. While solar radiation happens every day, a solar flare is a sudden explosion on the sun that shoots out a burst of light and energy into space, like a volcano eruption. These solar tsunamis can take out electrical power grids, satellites, GPS systems, and radio communications. It takes 13 minutes for the first wave, the electromagnetic radiation, to reach Mars. The second wave, the charged particles, can take hours. This esteemed institution will work to green other small parcels of Mars. While dwelling beneath the surface might seem odd for one's spirits and psychological health, these subterranean homes will provide a sanctuary, a controlled environment free from the unforgiving conditions of the Martian surface. While the city settlement is being built to feel homely, more importantly, it must protect the life within the walls. Everything is airtight, and airlocks divide the city into very small, closable sections. Because Mars's atmosphere is too thin to breathe, the city will be pressurized, just like an airtight airplane that actively pumps air into the cabin. The airplane compresses outside air using the engines and then introduces it into the cabin, enabling passengers to breathe normally. Habitats on or under Mars are just like an airplane flying at high altitudes on Earth, where the air outside is too thin to breathe. Pressurizing a habitat means adding air and gases into an airtight container or structure until it reaches a level suitable for human habitation. But all of the gas like a balloon. This means that the structure needs to be strong, requiring materials that make sure the seals and joints can withstand the without leaking. This means using metals, rigid composites, and other durable materials. And all of these materials are locally made on Mars. This is what made the plans for building the underground city possible. Over the years, the colony has become advanced enough to make the structural materials needed to construct the underground city. Along with making the exopave, the Martian concrete, the colony also has facilities to forge iron and steel. The Martian rock, rich in iron oxide that gives Mars its red color, is processed to extract iron. The iron is then combined with carbon from the Martian atmosphere to produce steel. The metal facilities are away from the colony, with furnaces operating solely by robotic workers. The steel is used to manufacture the city's structural components, tools, and machinery. Aluminium and titanium are also extracted and are used in the construction, as well as manufacturing vehicles and aerospace components. And fiberglass made from Martian sand, which is primarily silicon dioxide, is constructing pipelines that transport water, air, and fuel, and is also used to reinforce the Martian concrete. The silica in the Martian dirt is also processed to make glass and used for habitat and surface vehicle insulation, and plastics that are turned into flexible materials for suits and habitats and for electronic components are made from the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that is converted into methane. Phase 3. Next comes the construction of the city's essential infrastructure. This stage takes 3 years. This is when the robots begin building the parts that allow the humans to live underground, such as the water and air processing and distribution plants, the waste recycling systems, the vertical farming towers, and communication networks. Robots are laying down pipes and cables connecting all of these different parts, and the transportation network is being developed inside the city. There will be emergency shelter zones, reinforced areas designed to provide refuge during extreme solar flares or other emergencies such as quakes, equipped with independent life support systems. And the beating heart that powers the city will be an array of fusion reactors, fueled by the hydrogen extracted from the Martian ice water. The city is officially named Valles Arcadia, inspired by Valles Marineris, the canyon system on Mars, and the mythological region Arcadia, symbolizing an idyllic refuge of Martian wilderness. When the construction of the city is finished, it will mark a new level of advancement for the Mars colony, which is already a self-sustaining civilization today, but is still in need of advanced electronics from Earth for making robotics and AI. And in some ways, the Martian colony is already ahead of Earth. The colony boasts a more advanced medical development pace, specializing in genetic and bioengineering, with bio 3D printers that print tissues, eyeball corneas, and bioprinted prosthetic limbs, with ongoing experiments in printing organs. And work continues in genetically engineering humans to be immune from the effects of the surface radiation.
And let me just say this right quick. You do know that Mars will not be up under Earth laws. It's an entirely different planet, so we'll have an entirely different system of laws and rules that whatever Democrat or communist or dictatorship society they decide to put there. So when it comes to research, when it comes to cloning and all that, the laws that we have here on this earth for cloning and all of that, they won't have to deal with that on Mars. Making their own rules on Mars. You're not, if you become a citizen of Mars, you're not a citizen of the earth. You're a citizen of Mars. I want y'all to think about this now. Really, really think about this.
Radiation, hydrogen, sulfur, and nitrogen that they harvest from the planet. Nitrogen is also used for food preservation, dyes, fertilizers for construction purposes. The silicon extracted from the Martian rock is also used to make photovoltaic cells and panels, powering the research outposts that are located far away from the main colony. Algae and bacteria grown in bioreactors are used in the production of bioplastics for disposable items and packaging. Martian soil is heated to high temperatures to produce various ceramic materials used in pottery, insulating components, and protective tiles. And the colony extracts precious metal treasures such as gold and platinum that are used in electronics and scientific instruments. The construction now enters Phase 4, breathing life into. At night, the dwellers on the surface see a glow of light through the roof as the artificial lighting arrays are powered up. During the day, the interior lighting mimics natural sunlight, promoting plant growth and supporting human rhythms. The environmental control AI is turned on. This is the brain of the city, working with robotic assistants to maintain the life support system, monitoring levels of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and pollutants, and adjusting conditions as needed for optimal human health. Fleets of robots begin spreading out inside the city, like bacteria in a petri dish. They live in the walls, under the floors, and up in the ceilings.
Wow.
The city is now a closed-loop ecosystem, fully pressurized with recycling air and water. It begins to breathe.
Crazy.
Elevators and spiral escalators across the city connect each of the 8 levels. And for longer journeys, dwellers can enjoy the smooth rides of the magnetic levitation, small-scale rail lines, which benefit from the lower gravity on Mars, moving people and goods throughout the city. And when people need to go up to the surface, they can take the high-capacity cargo and passenger inclined elevator rail line, offering a scenic route to the surface. The pressurized cabins stop at an airlock station on the surface. And one popular tourist attraction in the city is taking a tethered jetpack up to the surface. The Mars colony is now an even more advanced civilization. Their diversified economy is growing, fueled by trade with Earth. The colony are traders of scientific research and material science, and the developments of genetic engineering and biotechnology for food crops and human biology is sold back to Earth. And in a different set of facilities, deeper than the rest of the city, there is a vault, where digital data and DNA of seeds and humans are stored, sent from Earth, acting as an extinction vault.
Now you hear this. Don't play that
And
one more
down
time.
here,
I want you to
buried
listen
under
to
the
that.
city, colony are traders of scientific research and material science, and the developments of genetic engineering and biotechnology for food crops and human biology is sold back to Earth. And in a different set of facilities, deeper than the rest of the city, there is a vault, where digital data and DNA of seeds and humans are stored, sent from Earth, acting as an extinction vault. And down here, buried under the city, there is also an Earth animal cloning lab. On the surface,
Y'all hear this?
Martian companies with local expertise are paid by Earth companies to build research outpost stations and tourism facilities. Plans are underway to begin expanding upwards, building on the 2 moons of Mars, Deimos and Phobos. And an array of new landing pads, along with accommodations within the city and rocket construction facilities, will be rented out to companies on Earth who have missions targeting the asteroid belt, Jupiter's 95 moons. A story for another time. The first volume of the Encyclopedia of the Future.
All right, guys. So this last piece got me. All right. That last piece got me. So like I told y'all, when it comes to cloning, they're not bound by the same laws we have on this earth. So they just said they'll be cloning animals. If they're cloning animals, they're cloning people. They just said they'll be selling biogenetics back to Earth. We don't know what's happening, guys. We really, really don't. And that's why the Bible says, you fight against principalities in high places. The Bible tells us that we're not fighting each other. We're fighting against spirit and beings that we just do not have a grasp on. There's so much happening. They're taking our DNA samples, our seeds, to Mars. Okay, they are trying to, like lovely lady said, they are trying to be gods. They believe that they are gods. And I think also they believe that if they move to Mars, that they won't fall up under the same laws as Earth as far as the biblical narrative speaks of. I believe they think they can avoid God's wrath if they leave Earth. I really believe that. Because when we look at the biblical narrative, when we look at them speaking of You know, anytime any of our religious writings on the Torah or any of those, it speaks of Earth. It doesn't speak of Mars or the moon or any of that. So I think they feel like if we move to Mars, that we're not going to fall up under God's laws anymore, as well as we're not going to fall up under the earth laws. We're not even going to fall up under God's laws because we're not on the earth. And everything that was written was for humans on the earth. So I really believe that they think that they're going to be escaping God's laws. I really do. I believe that it's more to this than meets the eye. I was telling someone the other day, we were speaking, I said, a lot of people miss this. But in the Bible, when God cast Satan out, he said a third of heaven went with Satan. A third. Now, most people think when he said a third that he was talking about angels, but he doesn't specify the angels. He said a third of heaven. And if we read back in Revelations, we know you have elders that's on the council. It talks about the beasts that surround God's throne. It talks about the strangers. So there are different beings in heaven. So when a third was cast out, and think about this, a third. So say, for instance, it was a third of earth cast out. What's the population of earth right now? I'm gonna look and see what's the population of earth. See what Google say. Population of earth. It said in 2022, it was 7.951 billion people. So let's just say a third of 7,951 beings was cast out to the earth. That's a heck of a lot of beings on the earth before man even had a good footprint here. So if you got a third, let me see here, a third of 7 billion people. Okay, just a third of 7 billion people is 2,063 billion people. So let's just say 2 billion people or beings, Earth. A little over 2 billion people or beings. Where did they go? Where are they? What kind of beings were they? Were they spiritual? Were they, what kind of beings were they? See, we got to think today. We got to be smarter. We got to use a little common sense. Who are these people trying and why? Okay. What's the push to get everybody up here on this Mars? Okay. And why? Let's think about that. So guys, when we're going about our everyday life and we're struggling to pay our electric bill and we're paying way too much for these little houses that'll fall apart with one wind if it blows, and we're paying crazy amount of money for these cars that one wreck will take care if you pay $2,000 for your car or $200,000. One good wreck and it's gone. So think about that. Throw that out there. But frivolous things, and the world is leaving us behind. The world is leaving us, and we need to think about it. And we really need to bring our children up to understand that this world is on a fast pace. There are things that are being built that we have not a clue about. Now, you think about this. They're spending all this money to go to Mars. Okay, they're literally creating their own world. They won't be under our laws. They won't be under our laws of the land. They won't be under our religious laws. They will be totally autonomous. Okay, think about that for a minute. So that's a whole nother ball game. But this world, how are we going to suffer this move? Because they said they're going to be trading back and forth with Earth, bio and genetic engineering of people, animals, which mean, okay, you think you're really eating. You think you're eating a cow. What are you really eating? You eat biogenetic something. The person you're meeting, and this is for, our grandkids and stuff, think it's a human genetic copy of somebody. I mean, it gets too crazy when you really think about it. But the fact is, it's happening. It is not sci-fi TV. It is really going on, guys. And when you look at what they're doing on Mars, when you look at these enclosed cities that they're making on this Earth, it begs to question, okay, what's really going on? And how can we prepare our children for what is to come? We need to get our heads out of the sand. We need to quit arguing over if I'm Indian, if I'm Chinese, if I'm orange, if I'm black, if I'm white, and start really taking a look at what's actually going on right now in front of our faces on this earth. We have a massive move that's happening toward the future of humans. And how this thing is going to turn out, we do not know. But the Bible said that he will have to come back before man destroys themselves. And we're on that rocket right now. We're on that fast rocket. So, guys, when you get a chance, start looking up that Mars project. Really look at Elon Musk. I do not believe Elon Musk is a full human. I think he's mankind, but I don't think he's a man. He's some kind of man, but I don't think he's a man. That's just my opinion. But if you look at him, he's weird and extraordinarily brilliant. Okay. And there's quite a few like that. But that's my little conspiracy for the day. That's my little piece. But anyway, guys, I've been on for an hour showing you guys ancient cities and showing you future cities, some that are already built or buildings that are already built and what they're creating now. And that Mirror City, they got a couple of things like that going on right now. That's right. None of us are going to escape the judgment, but I think they think so. I think they really believe that if they go to Mars, that they'll be able to escape it, because they're trying to make it where on Mars that they don't need Earth for anything. It would totally be totally self-sufficient. But as we know, man is flawed. So their plan is flawed. The outcome is not going to be the outcome they think. And it's just too many room for errors. And if man can get it right here on Earth, how the heck do you think they're going to get it right on Mars? You're building mirror cities, you're building cube cities, you're building cities with walls, and you've got people all over the world that's homeless and starving. You can't even cure that. So if you can't cure the little ills of the earth, how in the world do you think you're going to go to Mars or anywhere else and it's going to be rainbow and sunshine? I don't get it. That's why I tell people a lot of times, everybody that you look at that you think is human, they ain't full human. And they most definitely not going by the. It's some evil on this earth. And I tell people all the time, it's the difference between evil and sin. Sin is if I lie to you. Okay? Sin is if I steal or things like that. Evil is if I just go grab somebody's baby, take them home and cook them and eat them. That's evil. Evil is I'm starving 40,000 people, but I don't care. Let them starve. Evil is dropping a bomb on tens of thousands of people, baby, children, animals, and don't care. That's evil. There's a difference. And we have some evil on this earth. And you're going to take it out to space and you don't think God is going to say anything? You think, well, God is just the God of the earth? Is that what you're thinking? Okay. Let me say this. Anybody that studies any bioengineering, or you study plants, if systems, every ecosystem is to grow, multiply, and protect itself. So when something goes wrong, it automatically has something in it that says, oh, this is not right. This should not be here. This is foreign. So let me protect myself and kill it. On the earth, there are millions of bacteria formed every day to kill off certain germs, certain insects, plants, even us. But it also, in the ecosystem, when those bacteria and things are formed, also there are other bacteria that are formed to eat those bacteria. It's automatic. It's a cycle. And I'm trying to say it simply. So when something foreign comes in, if it's in the earth, it's an animal, if it's your body, it will be rejected because it's not supposed to be there. So that's why when you have an implant, say if you have a kidney transplant or a heart transplant, the body automatically rejects it. Why? Because it's not original to that body. It should not be there. So the body is saying this is foreign. So it rejects it. And this is why it's so dangerous when you have kidney transplant or anything like that, because the body automatically rejects it. Right now, I have 2 rods in my back from when I had spinal surgery. So they're not supposed to be there. So my body automatically builds up water because my body is saying it's a foreign object. It should not be there. So I get a lot of inflammation in my body. And as long as I have those foreign objects in my body, I will get that inflammation because it's saying it's not supposed to be there. Even like if you go outside, if you have anthills all in your yard and you go and you kick the anthills down and you kill the ants, okay? That year, those ants are more like the worker ants. That's why the hill is so big, they're producing. Well, since you attack that anthill, that next year, when you go out there, that same anthill, it won't be as big because it won't be ants. It will be army ants, the ones that bite you. The queen would automatically produce army ants because you attacked it. So we have to understand that whatever they're going to do on Mars, Mars is going to be attacking them every day because they're not supposed to be there. They're not natural to that. Okay, I want you to think about that. That's a problem with cloning. It's not natural. So everything attacks it. So when you clone an animal, it normally doesn't live long. It starts to break down. That's a whole nother story. So guys, they're not going to, even though they think they're going to get away from the judgment of God, they're not going to get away from the judgment of God. Okay? They're not, but they think they are. I believe, that's my opinion, that they think that they're going to get away from the judgment. None of us is going to get away from the judgment. Okay? I heard a young man say, I was listening to, whose show was I listening to? He was on. I think it was JJ 7000 show I was listening to. Shout out to JJ 7000. I was listening to his show, and he had a guy on there who was explaining why he was atheist. And one of them was, he said he felt free. And so JJ was like, what you mean you feel free? He said, well, I feel free because I'm not under the judgment of God anymore. I'm not worried about if I sin. I'm not worried about if I die, if I'm going to heaven or hell. I'm free. I'm free to be me. I'm free to be who I want to be. And nobody judge me. Okay, well, that may be your opinion. That may be how you feel. But I will say this to that. We all die. We all die. And we really don't know where we're going. We have had stories of an afterlife throughout the eons of time. People have spoken of an afterlife. I believe in afterlife just through my own experiences of life and death, things have happened. But just because you don't believe it don't mean it's not true. Okay? My grandfather, I'll never forget, my granddaddy was a sharecropper off a plantation. My grandfather lived to be 101. My grandmother lived to be 107. And my grandfather, my mother had brought him a little black and white TV. Right. Yeah, he'll be Rulio. You're right. My grandfather, my mother brought him this little black and white TV in his room. And every day he would watch Perry Mason. So he would get into Perry Mason. I mean, he would just be like, oh my goodness, when something happened to Perry Mason. So one day my mom said, Daddy, that's not real. And my granddaddy said, yes, it is. I'm looking at it. She said, no, granddaddy, that's actors. He said, no. He said, I'm looking at what you're talking about. That is real. It's happening right now. And we could not convince my grandfather that it was actors. He didn't understand. He couldn't get the concept that these are actors acting on TV. He just couldn't get that. He literally thought that he was looking at court cases. He just couldn't, that was happening down the street. He couldn't get the concept that there was actors. It was all created. He couldn't get that. So I said that to say this, just because, you believe or don't believe doesn't mean that it's not true or it is true. We all have our belief in different things. But sometimes we have to use a little common sense with those beliefs. And my whole thing is that everything on this earth was created. Okay, nothing just pops up. You don't just walk out one day and a bird grew out the ground, just popped up, or a plant just popped up by itself. No, it was seeded by another plant and then further. So everything is created. So man was created. We just didn't pop up. If you say that we came out the water and the R gene, R4 created the DNA. Okay, well, where did R4 come from? Everything is created. Okay, the earth was created by someone, something. You were created. Your mom was created. Okay, the owls, the flowers, everything is created. Nothing just pops up. So for people to think that there is not a God or a God system, something is wrong. But that is your belief. But it don't necessarily make it true. But if you look around you, you know that man didn't create this. We can't even solve, like I said, the homeless, which is really simple to solve. Just build everybody a house. Give everybody a piece of land for their families. We produce enough food. There should be nobody hungry. Okay? That's a whole nother story. So when it gets to that atheist stuff, I'll be like, okay, that's what you want to believe. But everything has a creator. Okay? Some people say, well, my mother's my creator. Yeah, but somebody created your mother and your mother's mother and your mother's mother and your mother's mother. Okay. A woman just didn't pop up out the ground one day and say, ooh, okay, now I'm producing children. There was a creator. There is a creator. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to ramble on that, but I just want to give a shout out. Thank you, lovely lady. You always support me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I see my channel is growing. I got some new subscribers. Thank you, guys. We, like I said, as we grow and we were able to get into conversations where I can open up the panel, we've got some serious discussions that I want to bring to you guys. I do this in the morning time. It's a little free time I have in the mornings if I'm not out. I try to make my appointments a little later, but so I just want to bring this, just basically information I'll bring you guys in the morning, and then in the evening time it'll be more. Friday I am going to do the topic on sexual abuse of women and children that's happening in Africa. I came across this piece. I was horrified. I was saddened. I was angry. And so I want to bring this to you guys, see what y'all think that's going on with all of this pedophilia and stuff. That spirit is something else, and it's just taking over. So I'm going to bring that to you guys Friday. I'm going to post it. I think it's going to be about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening that I'll bring you guys that story. I'm probably going to do a short piece on Shirley Strawberry. She did get her file for her divorce. I did a piece on that a couple of months back. And then I got a short piece on Jamie Foxx that I ran across that I want to point out. So I'll do a little short on that. Those are just people that I do for those who like the little celebrity update. So I'll do those sometime next week. But guys, just stay open-minded, stay awake, be aware of what's going on in our world. Right now, we have wars everywhere. Just reported that tens of thousands have just been killed in Gaza with the bombings again. The weather is crazy. We've got floods. Dubai is just going under, okay? Kenya, hundreds are lost in their flood through. China is flooded. They're going through. Bangladesh is going through. They're sinking. We got tornadoes. The big earth crack, the fault in the desert, the spreading. So guys, we better be awake today. God is not playing with us. God is sick of us, and this earth is sick of us. And if we don't get get it right, get our morals and values together, start caring about human beings, it's just gonna keep getting worse. It really is. But anyway, guys, that's my tip for the day. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you, lovely lady. I appreciate all the support from you guys. I want to give a shout out to all of my channels I like to peep in on. Neo X, Queen Throne. Shout out to Suge. Shout out to World News. I keep up. World News keep me up on what's going on with the Nature Boy stuff. It's crazy. I don't know if y'all heard, but now the wives have did a website about it's called the Innocent Project for Nature Boy. He got them wives, man. He got those poor women minds messed up. So they've got that going on. So I when I want that little bit of information, I go over to World News. But that's crazy. So shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to JJ7000, Judah Naz with his crazy self. Shout out to just people I just kind of stop in on and listen to. Like I said, with me, with YouTube, if I turn it on and it's something I'm interested in, I listen to it. If it ain't, I turn them off. It's just that simple. And I think we all should do that. I think we need to quit taking this YouTube thing so serious that it affects our everyday lives. And if it's something that doesn't agree with you, just turn it off. You ain't got to listen to it. You ain't got to deal with the people. I mean, they're on YouTube. Some of you may never, ever meet me. So if it's something I'm saying you don't like, just turn me off, you know? So that's what I do. I don't go back and forth. When they start talking crazy, I turn them off. I'm gone. But for those that have interesting topics or something I want to listen to or find out about, I'll sit there and stay and make my comments. But I don't take YouTubers, like that serious. I've had people say things about me, and I got a troll. And, it's so shocking to me because my daughter, she was laughing. I was, baby, what really is a troll? I don't get into it like that. So she's like, Ma, there's somebody that's always, got something negative to say and da-da-da on your account. So I have somebody, I don't know who it is. I'm not trying to find out, but I just block them when I see them. I have a troll that every time I make a comment or something, they have something negative to say or something crazy to say. I don't have a clue who it is. I guess I got somebody who don't like me out there. I don't know. I'm not on that much, and I don't have a big following, so I don't know who this little troll is. But I have a little troll that comes on and off and make little negative comments. It's crazy to me. But anyways, I'm not moved by that kind of stuff. So they can troll all they want. They can say what they want about me. Really know these people who got their opinion. So anyways, guys, I will come back to Friday. It'll be about 7:00. I will post it on the community wall when I'm coming back. And it's going to be on sexual abuse of women and children in Africa. So guys, thank y'all so very much for tuning in. Thank you guys. All my new subscribers, I appreciate it. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Please share this with anybody. Go back and look at some of my old videos. I got some great old videos on ancient cities. I never finished part 2, and it was on trauma, because I was trying to lead up to the trauma that has happened to our people from slavery. So that's why I was trying to lead it all the way up to that. And I just did not, I didn't finish it. So beloved lady, you too have a wonderful, wonderful day and a great week. I didn't finish that one because I was trying to lead up to the effects of the trauma over the years of slavery in America and how it affected us then and how it affects us today. So maybe I'll get around to that. But look at the piece I did do on that. That's a great piece. And like I said, guys, I won't come at you tomorrow, but I will be back Friday evening. Okay. And I'm probably going to just start doing I'm going to try to set a time to do a 30-minute quick, even if I'm doing it from my car when I'm on my way to my different appointments. But I want to always show you guys something that I find interesting, that I think is something that, you should take some time and look up, take some time and show it to your children. So they'll be aware of the world that they're walking into. It ain't the world that we're walking now. It's a supercharged new age world that they are walking into. So if you haven't seen the rest of the video, go back, look at the ancient city that I showed, look at the new cities that are coming up, and talk about it with your family, talk about it with your kids. Because, man, if they're not a part of this new this new AI system that's coming up, they're going to be left behind. All right, guys, I love you guys as always. I got to give me an intro and I got to give me an exit song or something. I got to get somebody to create something for me. But guys, as I always say, I love you guys. but God loves you best. Have an amazing, awesome day. Have an amazing week. Go back, check out my videos. Please like. Until I speak with you guys again, check me out on Friday around 7 p.m. And that subject will be on sexual abuse of women and children in Africa. All right, guys, love you. Have a supernatural day.